Hey guys, I'm Phil.
I'm Cray.
And guess what? We are in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
We're here for the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Sports Seminar, and we are bringing you this conversation live from Arrowhead.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly a spectacular stadium.
Yeah.
The TV doesn't do it justice at all.
No doubt. What a privilege it is to be able to be a broadcaster and do things like this, Cray. We get to come to Arrowhead. Tonight you're going to go to the Royals game and watch the Royals take on Cleveland.
The White Sox.
Sorry,
actually.
the White Sox. They lost to Cleveland last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly a close game.
No, 10-2. I mean, it's I wouldn't call that close, but you could.
I think we're saying, you said it early in the season that they've got a bullpen problem.
Right now they do. I think they'll get it figured out. Carlos Estevez was one of the best closers in baseball last year, and he just doesn't have that velo right now. He's throwing about 88 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, and he'll get that back. I think it's just cold out in Kansas City right now, and you don't want to play baseball in the cold.
Everybody else is.
Well,
Meaning
for now.
everybody else is playing in the
Yeah.
cold.
Well, compared to last night in Cleveland, it was 32 out. So
Yeah.
tonight in Kansas City, it's going to feel like midsummer.
Yeah, but the other guys were playing in 32-degree temperatures as well, meaning the Indians.
Right.
That's the point I'm making. So, well, we'll see how the season pans out. But I had a buddy, after the first game and the Royals lost, he texted me and he goes, "We're already behind the Yankees." And after one game, he was basically saying, it ain't going to be a good year.
Well, I think there's a chance. I really do. I think they've got some of the best position players in baseball, Phil.
They do have some great players.
Throwing it all together. That's the hardest part.
Time will tell. Well, so Arrowhead Stadium, you've been here before? Not your first trip?
This is my first ever time here.
Oh, it is? No, come on. I
For,
met you here.
just, come on. My bad. For a game, I've been here one other
Oh,
time. but
I thought, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've made a little bit of improvements. The last time I was here, they were doing the work that you can see there, Cray, all that cement work on the opposite side. I think that's what I would call a crowd retainer. What do you think?
I would definitely agree, Phil.
Yeah.
I think the weirdest thing about being here is there's no turf down right now.
Right.
So it doesn't look like a football stadium.
Right. They're getting ready for soccer.
Yeah, World Cup.
Yeah. So that's in what, 1 month, 2 months?
Yeah, just around the corner,
Yeah.
really.
And I know that the whole community here in Kansas City, which is a big city, really getting ready for soccer. We had a great opening speech today at our seminar with Wellmanack, and she's the communications director for the women's soccer team here in Kansas City. And I don't know all the history of that, but I know it's fairly new.
Yeah.
And so the Hunts and Pat and his wife Brittany are involved in the soccer, so it's a growing sport.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Phil, that's not the only thing that's coming up. The NFL draft is just coming out in 2 weeks. We're going to get right into that. Sports season is not dead when it becomes baseball time.
Yeah.
It's, in my opinion, the most fun time of the year for football with the draft and free agency wrapping up. And then you get baseball season.
And you got baseball, and then for me in the offsides, you got the Masters this weekend.
Right.
And you were talking about the Masters, what kind of money generates into Augusta, Georgia. Tell everybody.
Yeah, so in 1 week of the Masters tournament being in Augusta, Georgia, they generate $200 million for that town.
Yeah. And and the reason I bring that up is because sports is I think it's moved away from quote sports, and it's now fully in the entertainment category.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
And you've seen it everywhere where there's been a new stadium. They're trying to put a district around it.
Right.
Hey, catch a baseball game, grab a beer, do some shopping.
Right.
And that's what they need to do to survive.
Yeah.
Make it an experience. And isn't that what the NFL is already trying to do with the smaller stadium size? I'm pretty sure the new Arrowhead Stadium, when it goes up, is only going to hold 55 to 60,000 people in it.
Yeah.
Compared to this stadium, which can hold well over 70.
Yeah, I think we're real close to 80 here at Arrowhead. So, well, it is this big umbrella of entertainment. Soccer's becoming a part of that umbrella. And, of course, baseball, football, Major League has been under that umbrella for many years. And the NFL has probably grown to the biggest of the umbrella holders.
Oh, I would say 100%. Winning does that.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're a winner.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see how things develop, but we're excited to be at Arrowhead and be able to do this program for you. Now, there's some other things we wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk a little more details about the draft. You follow the draft way more than I do. You know the players, you know the teams. What do you think the Chiefs need most out of a draft?
I think defense. I think they need to focus on the defense. Listen, right now you're on two corners that are looking to start that didn't really see the field last year. You let Brian Cook walk. You're looking at no safety help. Besides, you brought in one guy's free safety from Baltimore. Okay, sure. I still think if a guy is available, you take him. But edge rusher is where you need to get it done.
Yeah.
Go get Desmond Bain.
I'm one of those guys. I think pressure on the quarterback makes a great quarterback average. Pressure on the quarterback makes a mediocre quarterback not very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's most underlooked. Maybe I'm wrong underlooked wise. Maybe those guys aren't available. Maybe the offensive tackle position has gotten better. I don't know. But I remember back here, and there's two names up on the whatever you call that, the retired, the Hall of Fame, I think is, what do they call?
The Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor, thank you. And then there's two guys' names up there, Neil Smith and Derek Thomas. And back in the Marty Schottenheimer days, those guys made that defense, made that football team exciting to watch, because a sack, man, there's nothing that gets the crowd into the game more than a defensive sack on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Nothing. And then the next part of Marty Schottenheimer's game plan was special teams.
Right.
And so you had the great special team guys. And so we'll see how the Chiefs go. But what else do they need? How about their offense? Don't they need some help on offense?
Well, Phil, yeah, they're looking at a receiver. If Cardell Tate's available at 9, they probably make that decision to go with him. They're looking at tight end. That tight end from Oregon, Sadiq. I mean, he looks incredible and athletic freak,
Yeah.
but you got to go defense. You need to bolster this defense. Phil, you know better than I do because you played defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
How easy is it to play defense when all you got to do is cover him for 2 seconds and then the dogs are getting to the quarterback?
Yeah, I think you're right. And actually, my son sent me a video the other day about speed, and he particularly, James Worthy was in that video about being the fastest clocked 40-yard dash in the combine in the history
Of the combine.
of the combine. And yet he's not been that productive on the field. And the question was, why? And these guys, their methodology was, it's game speed. It's about gamesmanship, knowing how to get open, knowing how to get the distance. And that's not just brute speed. That's more like you got to be game smart.
Yeah. Separation is
Yeah.
completely different than speed, and it's
Yeah.
how you work yourself.
Yeah. Speaking of separation.
Yeah.
See, I'm gone. And I'm back. Okay, so the Chiefs need some defensive help. How about special teams? You think they're covered?
I think they're good. I really do.
Everybody's good?
That's the thing about Andy Reid's teams. Is there's always going to be guys that he finds that are going to do phenomenal things on special teams.
Yeah. So do you think the Chiefs are better this year? Do you think the 26
Without a
season, they're going to be better than, what was it, 4-14? What did they finish?
No. They finished with, what was it, 6 wins?
6
7 wins?
Oh, man. It was so bad I forgot.
Well, they're going to be exciting. Here's the thing. We don't know how long Mahomes is going to be out. There are some reports saying, he could miss 5 weeks. There are some reports saying they'll be ready for game 1. But
Boy, that's a tough one.
you got Kenneth Walker, you got Rashee Rice, you got a healthy wide receiving core, you've got a better offensive line than last year, pending health. It's going to be a fun season if you're a Chiefs fan, and don't be surprised if they make it back to the postseason.
Oh, wow, you're saying that?
I'm saying it.
Okay, so let's move on to some college basketball afterthoughts. You're thinking here, what do you, Michigan, UConn, wasn't exactly a marquee matchup on a Monday night for that national championship. What do you think?
69-63, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, was the final. And listen, congratulations to Michigan. With everything that went wrong with their program in football this year, I'm glad that they had something go right for them in basketball.
Got to bounce back, yep.
But I'm also just glad Dan Hurley lost. I am. I flat out am.
You don't like UConn basketball?
If I had to see that video of him like headbutting the ref one more time,
Man.
he's just too intense.
Little-
I think there's a fine line to that in coaching.
A little higher strung than Woody Allen for the old guys. And speaking of old guys, if I could turn this camera around a little bit, there's a guy up on the name, you'll remember this if you're an old-time Chiefs fan like me, Ed Podolak. I was telling Cray earlier, he was the first autograph I ever got, Ed Podolak.
That's an awesome
Yeah.
story.
They
And you got it how?
So they came to our town, they were doing a fundraiser basketball team, traveling celebrities, and they were playing against high school teams, and they raised money, and I think the athletic department got to keep the money or something like that. But Podolak was there, and then Nolan Cromwell, he hadn't left college yet, or maybe he was after his senior year. He was traveling with them as well. These were Kansas people that they were just traveling in the state of Kansas. So I got Podolak's autograph, Cromwell's autograph, and then in a separate incident, I got Otis Taylor's autograph.
Yeah.
So anyway, and his name's up on the
All
up
on the
wall.
same sheet, right?
Yeah.
All
No,
on the same-
no. Otis Taylor's on a different autograph sheet.
Okay.
So anyway, that's my trip down memory lane. Okay, real quick, Kentucky Derby's coming up.
Yeah.
First weekend in May, and so here's your top horses. Now they're not going to mean anything to you, Cray, but I just want you to. I want to be on the record. I want everybody to know these are the top horses, and this is my thought.
Well, I already put your car on Renegade. That's who you
I
told me to
think
go
he's
with
a
originally.
great horse. He's on the third on the points list. Number one on the points list is Commandment. I think a big difference is going to be for Commandment who rides him. If Flavian Pratt rides him, look out. That's a good horse. Further Ado is number 2 on the points. And so if for those of you that don't follow horse racing, they go to these pre-qualifying races going back about 6 months. And
Yeah.
they get qualifying points based on their placement. And so that's how they get the points.
Well, that's still going on right now, right? The Arkansas Derby just wrapped up.
That was 2 weeks ago. They had 3 big races last weekend.
Mhm.
The Santa Anita, and I can't remember the other 2. Sorry, but anyway, so Commandment. If Flavian Pratt's going to ride him, that makes him a very formidable horse because Flavian 2 years ago was the Jockey of the Year, and he's real close to being a repeat. Further Ado, I don't think he's that good a horse. And I know people are going to say to me, Phil, what are you thinking about? Renegade, I think he's a good horse. And here's the one that's the sleeper. He's number 7 on the money list, or the points list, Silent Tactic. Watch out for that horse. This horse may not, he took 2nd and 3rd, but the horses that beat him were great horses, and they barely beat him. They barely beat him. There's one race, Cray, that you can go look. I think it's the Louisiana. 4 horses are all like within this far. It was a photo for first
finish,
and a
right?
photo for second, or third, I mean. So anyway, whereas Renegade pulls away from the pack, and so does Silent Tactic. So anyway, those are my 2 horses, Renegade, Silent Tactic. You guys, I just wanted to be on the record for that.
There you go.
Because if they win, people are going to go, that guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a gig.
Yeah, well,
I'll get a gig handicapping horses.
how many times have we said that this year?
Yeah, once.
Yeah.
We didn't get a gig yet. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around so everybody can see that we're at Arrowhead, and then we'll wrap this up for a quick week. Anything else to close on?
No, I'm looking forward to next week, diving more into the NFL draft, and
Yeah.
baseball season's really going to start heating up.
Yeah, and we want to thank everybody that does watch, and invite you to share this with your friends. Tell them about it. Even if your enemies, share it with them.
Yeah, force them to watch us.
Make them.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Well, I hear it. Watch these guys. They're great. But anyway, please like it, share it, and send us comments. We love the comments, right?
Oh, of course.
We love the good ones and the bad ones.
Oh, I like the bad ones more than the good ones.
Cray loves the bad
I
ones.
got a kick out of them.
Yeah. All right, one last thing to close on. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a great week.
Great week. Watch the Masters. Have a good sports week, and then also we'll dive into some high school track and field coming up in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
We've got the state track and field championships for the state of Kansas that we're planning on covering in Wichita, and that'll be the last weekend of May.
Right.
So anyway, have a great week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. Like and share this, and let's give you a going out way party from Arrowhead. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if they can see it. It's too bright. It's too bright. Anyway. All right, guys. Have a good week. Bye.